All right, class, on to high pressure systems. The second of the features that we'll find, basic features that we'll find on a weather map. So a high pressure that you see on a weather map will be a big blue H. Okay? And again, we're looking at it from a top view. So if we're looking at a weather map, we're looking down on the two-dimensional weather map. And the horizontal wind flow around this high pressure is going to be clockwise and outward. So this is going to look kind of like a pinwheel. All right, so our horizontal wind motion is going to be CW clockwise and outward. So if you look at a weather map and you see a high pressure on there, the winds right underneath the high pressure will probably be calm. And then as you go outward away from the high pressure, you'll notice that the wind motion, it will be clockwise and outward. We call this, remember with low pressures, it was counterclockwise and inward, and the air converged in the center of low pressure. Well, with high pressure, the air is clockwise and outward, and we call this divergence. So divergence is kind of the opposite of convergence. And so that's the horizontal wind motion. The vertical wind motion, again, this is going to be really important. We often think about things horizontally, but in the atmosphere, we have to think about things in the vertical. So the vertical motion associated with a high pressure is going to be downward. Remember, with a low pressure, it was upward. With a high pressure, the air motion is downward. Okay? In other words, you've got sinking air in the center of a high pressure. And the importance of that is that this is going to suppress the water vapor from being carried up into the atmosphere. So high pressures will suppress water vapor from being carried upward into the atmosphere. And you can probably guess then what that is going to mean in turn, well, I'm going off the screen here, being carried upward. And so the result of this, the result of a high pressure, and there are no absolutes in meteorology, but typically the result of a high pressure is that high pressures are a location of generally fair weather, nice weather. And by that, clear to maybe partly cloudy skies. Again, this is very typical of a high pressure. It's not an absolute though. And so, again, if you're doing a seat of your pants forecast, if you see a high pressure moving into your area, you can expect that weather is going to be pretty nice. If you see a low pressure heading towards your area, you can expect that the weather is going to take a turn for the worse. It's going to get cloudy and maybe some precipitation. So low pressures associated with cloudy and adverse weather conditions. High pressures associated with clear to partly cloudy skies and fair weather. All right, that's high pressures. Next, we'll take a look at isobars.